श्रोताओं, मैं मुकेश गंभीर, डायरेक्टर रेडियो बूस्ट, एज यूजुअल आपके सम्मुख अपने विशिष्ट मेहमानों के साथ प्रस्तुत हुआ। साथियों, आज जिस मेहमान को मैं लेके आया उससे बातचीत करते हुए मुझे भी बहुत गर्व महसूस हो रहा है। आप जानते हैं कि मेरी अपनी बैकग्राउंड भी एज ए लेक्चरर शुरू हुई। मैं ब्यूरोक्रेसी में तो बाद में आया, लेकिन लगभग 7 से 9 साल तक मैं कॉलेज में टीचिंग का काम करता रहा। इसलिए जब कभी भी मेरे पास स्टूडियो में कोई लेक्चरर आते हैं या एसोसिएट प्रोफेसर आते हैं तो मुझे ऐसे लगता है जैसे मेरे बिरादरी के लोग मुझसे आन मिले हैं। इसी क्रम में आज हमारे बीच में डॉक्टर विभा अरोड़ा नागपाल आए हुए हैं। मैम, आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत। खैर मकदम, आपने समय निकाला और आप हमारे पास आए, हम आपका तहे दिल से बहुत आभार करते हैं।
थैंक यू सो मच सर, थैंक यू फॉर इनवाइटिंग, थैंक यू।
डॉक्टर विभा, आप जरा हमारे ऑडियंस को बताने का प्रयास करेंगे कि आपने डॉक्टरेट किस सब्जेक्ट में की और आपकी जो स्पेशलिटी है वो किस विषय में?
श्योर सर। मेरा PhD मार्केटिंग में है, मैनेजमेंट में है।
Yes.
And within marketing, if I talk about my specialization, I have done my doctorate in banking,
Okay.
Retail banking.
Okay.
Going forward after doctorate, I kept on doing research, and we have to change and evolve as per time. If I talk about today, the kind of research I am doing today, I'm working on omni-channel retailing.
Okay.
That's the new evolved retailing format today, as per the corporate.
Okay.
And I'm doing research in the area of sustainability.
Okay.
That's the need of the hour, given the kind of climate change we are observing today.
Okay.
So I think that research is evolving with time.
Okay.
So that's how I'm also trying to evolve from banking to retailing to sustainability.
Okay. Ma'am, just going a little back, would you like to mention from where you had your graduation and then post-graduation?
Sure.
Yes.
So I have done my graduation. So when I did my graduation in the year 96, 99, and that was the time the program of Bachelor in Business Studies was new.
Yeah.
And because I belong to a business family, as a kid and as a student, I used to think that I'll be a businesswoman. And I always wanted to do management.
Okay.
And that's when the place, Maharishi Dayanand University, there, that program came for the first time. And I was lucky enough that within 40 seats I could get the enrollment.
Yeah.
And I got nice faculty members who oriented me further. I got faculty members from Narsi Munji and SP Jain and so on. So they oriented me ahead in terms of why management is important,
Yeah.
why soft skills are important, and they gave me the confidence. I started preparing for CAT, and then I got enrolled for my MBA program into one of the institute which was affiliated to Narsi Munji. I did my PGPM, and side by side I thought that because my father was a businessman, mother was a teacher, both sides I wanted to bring that equilibrium.
Okay.
And somewhere I wanted that in my life. I really wanted to do doctorate also.
Okay.
So while doing PGPM, I thought that I should do a master's as well.
Okay.
So I enrolled myself side by side into a master's program so that I could apply for doctorate. And my first break was into after completing masters with management
from Dayanand University.
from a Hindu Institute of Management affiliated to Narsimunje.
Okay. Okay.
And after that, my first break got into Management Development Institute, MDI Gurgaon, as a research fellow.
Okay.
And I think that was a journey wherein that life-changing kind of an exposure to research and to teaching, and that's how last 22 years, since 2001, I'm into teaching and research.
Okay, that's very fine. At present, where are you working?
I work with IBS,
Okay.
we call it as ICFAI, ICFAI Business School.
Yeah, I happen to visit your college.
Yes,
Yeah.
and we really had a nice time and a great event wherein you were the
Yeah,
chief
yeah.
guest.
I
and
also
audience.
remember in that. Yes.
So, ICFAI Business School is located in Gurgaon, and we are into management education for last 25 years.
Yeah.
Our alumni are placed in big companies at a very good position, top management, to name big fours and all the banking services. We have our alumni, so about 65,000 alumni
Yeah.
have passed out
Yeah.
of IBS.
I came to know that now your campus is shifting here at Sona Road.
Yes.
Although it is likely to take another 1-2 months more.
Yes.
Okay.
The work is
I
in
think
progress right now.
Gurgaon will get much more benefit for that, because it was at a distance so far, and that distance will be removed now. It's very good.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Ma'am, I am very keen to know that while teaching management to your students, let me first understand how many students are there in your college who are having studies of MBA or management courses.
So we have about 500
Okay.
in 1 year. So
Okay.
yeah. This the fresh batch is about this much.
Okay, it's 2-year course.
Yes, 2 years program.
Okay, so practically, how many batches you have already completed?
So because it's 25 years we have been into management education,
Yes.
more than 24 batches have passed out.
Okay. So almost from the beginning you are taking care.
IBS, specifically me, I joined IBS from 2007.
Okay.
So with me, almost I would say 14 batches
Okay.
have passed out.
Okay. So you are a dean there,
I'm an associate dean.
associate dean. Okay. Now, keeping in view the latest courses which are being prescribed for such students, what subjects you are teaching them?
So I take the subject, for the first year I take marketing management.
Okay.
For second year I do teach marketing research.
Okay.
I teach services marketing.
Okay.
So these are the subjects I teach.
Okay. So with this, what results you are getting? How much fruitful they are as far as the data is concerned?
Sure. So you are asking about the impact of
Yeah.
these programs
Yeah.
on students.
Yeah.
So when we talk about the profile, which is which corporate expect from a
Yes.
business student, business
Yeah.
education student, they do expect that they should have service orientation.
Yes.
They should have customer orientation.
Yeah.
They should be presentable.
Yeah.
They should know how to pitch the product in front of the client.
Yeah.
They should know how to understand the market. They should know how to analyze the data, how to bring out insights out of the data. So all these aspects get covered in these courses which I teach, and I believe that if somebody does it sincerely, should result up to the extent of 80 to 90%
Okay.
in making a transition or transformation into their
Okay.
career.
Okay. Ma'am, would you please spell it out that what efforts are being done by your institute to have a direct interaction of corporate sector with your college students, so that they can understand the expectations of the corporate houses? Because as I told you just now in the office, that I retired as a Joint Commissioner Excise. So number of very prominent industries used to interact with us. And you perhaps must be knowing the culture in Haryana, that they want jobs by recommendation. So at times we used to recommend for the job, but then after 15-20 days they would come and they would say, sir, he doesn't understand anything and he doesn't have that mannerism which is required. So at that time I remember that we used to realize that these kids are not being trained in the culture which is required for industry or for such a jobs. How do you interact with that?
Sure. So I would say IBS is trying to understand all the time the need of the industry, and we interact with the industry on the daily basis.
Okay.
Within daily, I'd say maybe hourly basis.
Achha.
So because we have lots of industry professionals coming to IBS to conduct sessions.
Okay.
We have students going to industry for live projects,
Okay.
for summer internship.
Okay.
And then we have lots of mentoring sessions
Okay.
by our alumni.
Okay.
On weekly basis.
Okay.
So all in all, if I talk about the interaction between industry, student, faculty in terms of writing cases, giving training to the corporates, different formats, but all in all, if I talk about the interaction with industries on the hourly basis.
Okay.
And we do research also. Recently we completed a research wherein we really wanted to understand what are the new, because environment is changing, AI is coming, we wanted to understand how industry expectations are changing. So we have done qualitative interviews of number of industries and companies to understand what kind of changes we should bring to our syllabus and the teaching pedagogy. So that's what we do as a homework.
Yeah.
And we see the result in terms of the kind of programs we offer, the kind of training we provide, the kind of soft skills we provide, so that they are well equipped technically as well as grooming, etiquettes, socially oriented individuals.
That's right. Yes. Ma'am, if you remember, when I visited your institution and I was asked to deliver one lecture there, I distinctly remember in the presence of your principal, I mentioned this thing that normally students are being trained for business skills, but are we taking care of students to be a better human beings as well? Still, my cardinal question is this: in what way we are taking care of this aspect, that our students, when they come out, they are educated in the real sense, that they became intrinsically good person. They are not there to exploit the people around, and particularly keeping in view respect to ladies and all that mannerism which is required. Are we training them for this purpose? Please.
I appreciate, sir, that you're asking this question.
Yeah.
And IBS gives due regard and due weightage to this aspect of education. If I talk about technically as a subject, we have a subject called business ethics,
Okay.
wherein business should be done ethically.
Yes.
That is obviously,
Yeah.
we try to inculcate those ethics with
Yes.
the help of the cases and the practices and discussions. That's technically. When I talk about indirectly in terms of the soft skills. We have got certain cells. For example, one of the cell we have is social responsibility cell, wherein we orient students towards they have tied up with some of the NGOs, and they continuously do work with NGOs, and we have blood donation camps.
Okay.
We have clothing donation drives.
Okay.
We have waste management initiatives.
Okay.
We do plant trees.
Okay.
And so number of initiatives, and we try to bring that orientation towards sustainability.
Okay.
So ethics, taking care of the environment, and apart from that, we try to maintain that decorum within the institute for 2 years, wherein
Do you have co-ed there?
yes, definitely. How are they speak to? How are they supposed to behave? The body language, everything. We need not spell. They try to observe, and they do
Copy.
They do copy, and they do follow the code of conduct which is they are expected to, and in a way they get trained in 2 years.
Yeah. Ma'am, I'm really happy to listen that all these things, and I think our listeners are also must be appreciating such a good approach, particularly at that level. But I would like to touch another aspect. For that purpose, I'll take the help of one of my rubais,
Sure.
which says कि कोई भी आईना मुझे मेरा अक्ष ही तो दिखाता है, रह जाता है जो भीतर मेरे, कहाँ वो मुझको बताता है, और तलाशता फिरता हूँ खुद को खुद ही में मैं, तब कहीं अंत में जाकर मेरा स्वरूप वो मुझको समझाता है. माई पॉइंट इज दिस, गॉन आर डेज जो कभी इन ओल्ड डेज गुरु और शिष्य वाली परंपरा तो खत्म हो गई. कहीं पर आज के इस मॉडर्न युग में ही जरूरत है इन बच्चों को अपने भीतरी स्वरूप को समझाने की. मैं एक बात और कहा करता हूं कि छोड़ बाहर को और मन को देख, भीतर है जो धन को देख, क्यों भटके है मंदिर मस्जिद, अपने भीतर फन को देख, अपने भीतर फन को देख. State question is, are you taking care of their inner personality as well?
Sure, sir.
I hope
Yes.
I am relevant to the point and very clear.
100%.
Yes.
And I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So, sir, self-introspection
Yeah.
and the inner personality, when we talk about, I'll share one of the incident which happened yesterday. So we have different cells, and students want to become part of that cell. They want to become coordinators, joint coordinators, and so on. So everybody would not get selected. It's a competitive world
Yeah.
out there. So, but some students do take time in terms of the acceptance that I was not able to make it, be it of any reason,
Yeah.
that you have not come into formals, or maybe you were not able to speak that way where you were supposed to, whatsoever could be the reason. So he approached that I could not get selected and could I get another chance. So I was trying to counsel him today morning. Yesterday in front of rest of the students, that kind of a counseling could not happen, but today I specifically called him so that I could do that 101 counseling. So I told him that just having that name tag of being the coordinator or the joint coordinator of the cell is not going to change your life.
Yeah.
You need to understand, why do you want to join it, what do you want to get out of it, what is the inner thing you want to do in your life. So you need to have that. So now that's just the example.
Yeah.
And now if I talk about the process, we have a mentoring session organized with the faculty members, and set number is assigned to a faculty member, and a time is there wherein student could get that kind of a counseling 101 to understand what do they really want to do in their life.
Yeah.
So we do provide that opportunity also, wherein they could come, sit, and they could because it's a, sometimes during in that competition they forget that what do they really want to do themselves. So we do have a counseling session wherein we help them identifying it,
Yeah.
and we prepare them to achieve it.
Yes.
So we have that.
That's very good, Dr. Saab. You must be realizing so many heinous crimes are taking place. I personally feel that it's a lack of awareness. Once in the student life, if students are being prepared and mentally so aware, they may go in any profession. But if that intrinsic goodness has entered in them, it is not going to get stopped. The only problem remains at times is this, that now in education the salaries and all privileges have increased so good that our teachers and lecturers are not looking beyond the colleges, and they are quite satisfied. In that spirit, I personally feel that they should give their 100% to the students to make them a real strength of the nation. If we look at our national level, let us see and feel proud that the way our Prime Minister is taking our country so ahead. After all, tomorrow, who is going to be the nation builders? Only these students.
Surely.
So, I am very happy to know all the details. Frankly speaking, this is what I have personally observed when I visited your college, and Mr. Umesh Kalra had been telling me all the best feature of your institution. I met your principal and I heard the similar views as you are giving. So I must congratulate you that you are taking care of your students in a very right perspective, and you are in such an institution which is helping in the growth of nation building. So with these words, I am again thankful to you for
My pleasure,
giving
sir.
time and sharing, because your views are not only going to be heard by our listener, I personally feel they are going to help them to think about their kids as well, and if need be, they would be approaching you there in your institution. And management courses are such courses which I personally feel that anybody should have it, because it is going to help them throughout the life.
Definitely. Thank you so much for having me, sir. Thank you so much. My
It's a pleasure. Any message, say at the end, you want to give, please come out.
Yes, I think one message I would like to give would be that when students come to the institute, or the young generation I'm giving this message to, that be focused, be positive, and have the attitude to learn. So if you have that eagerness to learn in your life, you can do anything. So that would be all from my side. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.